Today we're going to learn about finding the slope from a graph and from 2 points. So this is Unit 1, Lesson 14. We're talking about slope from a graph and points. And it is October 10th. So everyone should have a worksheet that looks like this. Go ahead and write your name, date, and period. All right, let's take a look at example number 1. First thing we need to do is find the slope of each line. So each of these boxes is worth 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, -4. So now we are working with positive and negative numbers, so we need to be careful. So we have 2 points here. We're going to find the slope. And the slope is calculated with 2 points. So we have x1, y1, that's the first point, and x2, y2, that's the second point. So the slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is a very important formula that we will be using on this worksheet. So first we need 2 points, then we're going to plug those points into this slope formula. So first we're going to take 1 point. Right here we see it's -1 and -1. So I'm going to label that -1 and -1. That's my first point. So this is x1, y1. That's this point here. Then I have my second point. I see is 1, 2, that's +2, and -1, -2. So that's +2, -2. And that's x2 and y2. So I'm going to write my formula here. We use m to represent the slope. So the slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So y2 is -2, so I'm going to start by writing -2 minus, I'm going to find y1. I have x1 and y1 here, so y1 is -1. So I'm going to subtract -1. Notice I put it in parentheses. Then all of that is over x2. So I find x2, the value is +2, minus, and I'm going to find x1. x1 is over here, and it's -1. So we can use our foldable to help us find the solutions. When we are subtracting integers, the rule is to rewrite it as addition and add the opposite. So we're going to rewrite this as addition. So I have -2. We change the addition and we take the opposite of the second number. So this becomes plus a +1 over 2. And then we change to addition and take the opposite, so we add a positive 1. So we have negative 2 plus positive 1 is going to give us a negative 1. And we have a positive 2 plus a positive 1 is going to give us positive 3. So my slope is negative 1 over 3 for number 1. That's my final answer. So first I found the 2 points. I named the 2 points. Then I use my formula, and be very careful, it's subtraction, and if there's negatives, you need to make sure to write the negatives. Then you simplify and you get the slope of negative 1/3, and that's the slope of number 1. Go ahead and take a few minutes and try number 2. Identify the points and find the slope. Please pause the video for students to try number 2. Let's check to see what the answer is. So number 2, we need a x1, y1. So I'll choose this point here. So I have negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4. So negative 1, comma, negative 4. Then I need a x2 and a y2. This point right here is 0, comma, negative 1. So my slope, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's going to be y2 is going to be right here, and I see y2 is negative 1. Parentheses, negative 1. Then I am subtracting, and I'm going to put the next number in parentheses, minus y1. So I'm looking here, y1 is negative 4, so I'm going to put negative 4 in my parentheses. Then I'm looking for x2, right here, x2 is 0, so I put 0 minus x1 is negative 1, so I'm going to put minus a negative 1. So I can rewrite this because I have subtraction, so I'm going to change to addition and take the opposite. And same thing here, change to addition and take the opposite. So this now becomes negative 1 plus a positive 4 and a 0 plus a positive 1. So negative 1 plus positive 4 is positive 3, and 0 plus positive 1 is 1. So the slope from number 2 is 3 over 1, or 3. So check if you did it correctly. If you didn't, please erase it and fix your mistake. Let's try the backside. The backside is the same thing. We're finding the slope between these 2 points. So the first thing we do is we take x1, y1, And the second point is x2, y2. So we're going to use the same formula. Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we have y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. And we just need to fill in the blanks. So my first number is y2. So I look at y2 and I see the number is positive 15. So I put positive 15 here. Minus y1. y1 is negative 10, so I'm going to put negative 10 in my parentheses. Then we're looking at x2. x2 is negative 15. And x1 is positive 6. So they are both subtraction. I'm going to change to addition and take the opposite. Change to addition, take the opposite. So I end up with 15 plus a positive 10 because the opposite of negative 10 is positive 10. Then I have to add a negative 6 because the opposite of positive 6 is negative 6. So I get negative 15 plus a negative 6. So 15 plus 10 gives me 25. Negative 15, negative 6 gives me a negative 21. So those numbers do not have any common factors. So the slope is negative 25 over 21. Go ahead and try number 10 by yourself. Please pause the video so students can try this on their own. Okay, let's check our answer. We have x1 comma y1, x2, y2. So our slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Something minus something over something minus something. Okay, so I start with y2. y2 is negative 18. Minus y1. y1 is negative 18. Then x2 is negative 15. Minus x1 is positive 12. So I'm going to change to addition and take the opposite of the second number. So I rewrite it. I get negative 18 plus a positive 18, negative 15 plus a negative 12. So I get negative 18 and positive 18 become 0, and negative 15 and negative 12 become a negative 27. So I know 0 divided by anything is just 0, so my slope is 0. Check your answer. Fix your mistake if you have one. The independent practice and your homework is number 3, number 4, and on the back, number 11 and number 12.